Once upon a time, the President of the United States was dancing in the White House when there was a knock at his door. Who could that be? He thought all of a sudden. In popped one of his advisors.
Mr. President, there's something going on that you should hear about. There's an evil terrorist duck on the loose, and it can't be stopped. The only thing that can stop him is you gotta go and get him yourself. But he'll only stop doing naughty things and pecking people if the President of the United States steps in.
Anyway, the President said, "This isn't good at all. I need to resolve this issue for the people of America." Or something like that. And so the President decided to give a speech on the lawn of the White House. He said, "My fellow Americans, we have an issue at the moment. There's an evil duck on the loose, and it's pecking people. If we don't stop this duck, it could be the end for all of the world." Meanwhile, in his secret field, the duck was planning with his friendly sheep friends to take over the world.
"Why, you know, my little sheep friends, quack, 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 we must take over the world and peck people to death if we are to succeed and bring the animals back to the ways of the old."
And he hatched an evil plan. Meanwhile, the President went to the eerie forests of Iowa to track down a Jedi Indian who could take out the duck. And he looked everywhere around the woods for him. "Where are you, my Indian friend? No racism intended in this story. Where are you, my Indian friend?" And the Indian appeared. How, said the Indian. "How may I assist you, President Barack Obama?" And the President said, "Well, I'm having a little trouble with some psychotic duck that wants to take over the world and peck people to death. And that's not very good. How can I assist you?" "Well, I heard that you were a Jedi and had magical powers." "Ah, this is true." So the Indian decided to help Barack Obama. Meanwhile, the duck was planning with his secret advisor, Mr. Snake Man, and said,
"Well, we must take over the world, Mr. Snake Man. What can you help me with?"
And Mr. Snake Man said, "Well, I have a rather large snake that can attack President Obama when he's not looking. Shall I try it?"
"I think you should. And do my work. If you don't, I'll peck you to death."
So off the Snake Man went. Meanwhile, as the President was now dancing again in his White House room, booking on down to his Motown music, Mr. Snake Man arrived. "Ha, Mr. President, I have you now. Hiss, hiss, get away, hiss," and chased him all around the room. Hiss, hiss. And President Obama ran off, and the Snake Man followed him. The President ran out onto the White House lawn, and Mr. Snake Man followed. "This is it, Mr. Obama. It's time you got bitten by my venomous snake." Just then, the Indian Jedi showed up. Whoosh. "No, Mr. Snake Man, you cannot do this to the President of the United States." And he pulled out a lightsaber and hacked at him. They had a snake and lightsaber fight that seemed to go on for ages. In the end, the Jedi Indian won. He put his lightsaber away. "There, Mr. President, I have defeated the Snake Man." "Why, thank you, Indian friend. I was scared so much that I think I wet myself a little bit. But it's okay, because I can get changed, as I have lots of suits, as I'm the President." The President then was taught some Jedi tricks by his Indian friend. "I will teach you some Jedi tricks, and then you'll be able to defeat the evil duck yourself, as I have a prior engagement on my reservation somewhere, as I have to make food and things for a wedding, so I can't come with you, but I can teach you the tricks." "That would be just swell," said the President. Meanwhile, in the duck's hideout, he wasn't too happy as the plan didn't go as well as it should.
The plan didn't go too well. We have to escape and run away to the country, well, we are in the country, but run away to another country.
Just then, President Obama showed up. No, that's the snake man. Ha! I have you now, my duck friend. But I'm not your friend, really, but it's just a figure of speech. And President Barack Obama pulled out his lightsaber and threw it at the duck. Ah! And it stuck in the duck's head. And the duck died. And then President Obama claimed the duck's land as America. And he lived happily ever after with no more evil ducks about. The end.